Hello everybody, RMJ Movie Reviews back again. Alright everybody, RMJ Movie Reviews back with another movie review. I was kind of on the fence about what movie I was gonna review. But me and a friend of mine, me and my good friend, we actually went out to buybacks and decided to set aside a little bit of play money for myself after I paid rent. And decided to, spend a good $14, buy some used movies. And I actually, since Michael Keaton just had the Oscars or whatever, I didn't watch it. I think he did win from what I saw on Yahoo, but I didn't finish the article. And Michael Keaton has honestly, outside of Beetlejuice and Batman, kind of always been an underappreciated actor, versatile actor anyway. So I decided, since Michael Keaton is riding high off Birdman, that I actually found this movie. It was for 99 cents. One Good Cop from 1991. This actually came out, I believe, this was 3 years after Batman, and I think it had just come out after Pacific Heights that he had made, where he played a psycho. I might review that movie. But One Good Cop was a movie that I had rented from the video store way back when it first came out. And it again came along in that wave of kind of action movies and stuff. And I do remember at the time, I don't remember it being heavily marketed when that movie came out, but I still do remember the preview showed a lot of kind of Michael Keaton kind of going like this, and him going around the corner, and then it would freeze frame on him shooting this gun, and then it would go, One Good Cop, and it had this really cheesy music. Those of you who recorded VHS tapes off TV might have that commercial floating around somewhere out there in YouTube. But I remember when I finally rented it on video, I was kind of surprised, because at the time it was kind of more marketed as kind of a cop movie. Not really an action film, but a cop movie. And that's not really what it is at all. It's really more of a drama, because it tells the story of Michael Keaton, who's this detective, and his partner, played by Anthony LaPaglia, who's a character Italian actor. I haven't seen him in much lately, but he used to do a lot back in the 80s and the early 90s. Really fantastic actor. And basically, they're in the middle of this hostage situation with this crazed out drug lunatic guy. And his partner is widowed. He's got 3 daughters. His wife is, passed on. And the guy's having a rough spot. Michael Keaton is trying to hook him up, get him to date, and basically start living life again. But the guy's in a rough spot, man. He's really depressed. And he ends up getting killed on this in the middle of this hostage situation. So then Michael Keaton is caught in a jam, because that was his best buddy. He was kind of trying to help the man get his life back, and now I think he kind of feels indebted to him, you know what I mean, because he didn't really get a chance to help the guy get his life back while he was taking care of his 3 daughters by himself. And now it becomes Michael Keaton and his wife's responsibility to figure out what they're going to do with his murdered partner's 3 kids. And to me, in watching the movie now as an adult, that's the most fascinating part of this movie. When I had seen the movie on video, I was a kid. I was, I think, 9 or 10 when I saw this film. And I thought it was going to be like a cop shoot-'em-up movie. And then when I saw it, there's like all these really, kind of dramatic scenes of Michael Keaton and Rene Russo dealing with his partner's daughters. And those scenes in this movie is very well done. I will say, in watching the movie now, when I first saw it when I was a kid, the least interesting aspect of the movie to me, which is 90% of the movie, was the dramatic stuff with his partner's daughters. Now that I'm older, that is the most interesting part to me. I think the cop stuff is really generic. I don't think it's really that good. The whole storyline of Michael Keaton and Benjamin Bratt, who's another guy who's part of who works at the same precinct as him, trying to catch this ice. Ice was like a whole big thing because crack was in at this time when this movie was made. So, the whole thing of them trying to catch this ice dealer, kind of Hispanic ice dealer kingpin. I just think it's generic. not interesting at all. The only reason it really even is involving a little bit is because there's some fantastic Hispanic character actors who play the drug dealers. And I cannot, forgive me guys, I can't remember the actor's name who plays the main heavy and his henchman, but Rachel Tickerton from Total Recall is in it. But when you see all the Hispanic actors who play the main heavies, you've seen these guys in tons of stuff. Of course, like I said, Benjamin Bratt from Blood In, Blood Out, whole Law and Order back in the day, he's great. All the actors who play the detectives down at the precinct, you've seen all these characters. This movie is filled with fantastic character actors, and really, that's what I'd say. The dramatic stuff with the daughters and the actors is what raises One Good Cop kind of above pot boiler generic TV movie of the week, because really, overall, honestly, the movie is generic, but Michael Keaton and Rene Russo and all the actors carry the material pretty good. Michael Keaton is pretty versatile in this movie. He really plays kind of the tough cop. Although, this is just my opinion. I don't really know if I really buy Michael Keaton as a tough talking detective. I don't really buy that part of the character, but the dramatic stuff with him and the daughters and in particular, the girl who plays the oldest daughter, she's just really, she's having a hard time. The kids are having post-traumatic stress because they lost their father. They had already lost their mother, so now they lost two parents. One girl's diabetic, and they're trying to figure out, they don't, Michael Keaton and Rene Russo, they don't have a big enough place. They got a tiny apartment off a cop's salary. She owns like some kind of shopping store or something, and they just don't have the cash to take care of these three kids. So it's like, are they going to, work up the money to adopt them, or are they going to let the system get them? And then if social services get them, they might be separated, and it's really it's a heavy situation, man. I mean, a heartbreaking scene is where Michael Keaton tells the oldest daughter that their father's been killed, and there's not a lot of, it's really more facial expressions, but the little girl, it's pretty heartbreaking. And the little girls, the young actresses, they're very sweet, and I think those scenes are very touching and very well done. You really feel, I mean, this is a jam. What do? That's your best friend. You got these three little girls. It's heavy stuff, man. And I think that's the best part of One Good Cop. I really love the dramatic scenes with the kids. The cop stuff is kind of, yeah. But I will say there is a tiny bit of action in it, but the action is pretty standard stuff, not really done that interestingly. But I will say, again, it's from the time period of no shaky cam, no matrixy camera angles, no Twilight type of pretty actors. It's just down and dirty. Like, my favorite scene in as far as the action sequences go is there's a scene where Michael Keaton and Anthony LaPaglia are kind of doing some investigations about some connection they have with this drug dealer guy, and they end up getting stuck up by these drug heads who basically are the guys who are on the ice, and they have like this fight scene in this elevator, and I say that's a really good fight scene. It's just the fact that it's just straightforward. It's just, there ain't no, special moves. It's just down and dirty, slamming people's heads in the walls, punched in the chest. It's an awesome little action sequence. That's like my favorite action sequence in the whole movie. But One Good Cop just is a prime example that Michael Keaton is a very versatile actor. He wasn't just Batman. He wasn't just Beetlejuice. He very much reminded me a lot like Wesley Snipes, young Wesley Snipes, not Tax Evasion Wesley Snipes, where he could do the comedy, the fantasy, the drama. He could do it all. So he's a very versatile actor, and I'm not surprised that he won for Birdman. And of course, he did the movie Clean and Sober. I want to review that movie, but I sold it back to the exchange place, and I haven't been able to find a copy since. So maybe I'll be able to find it again. But One Good Cop. The dramatic stuff in the movie, very interesting. The cop stuff, not so much, but I do appreciate the fact that it's shot very realistic and raw and dirty. And it's an okay drama cop movie. The balance isn't quite particularly there, but I do think that it's kind of it's got some good stuff in it that I think people who are just getting hip to Michael Keaton, they should check it out and give it a try. So that's my movie review of One Good Cop. Not the greatest, but I think that the acting really brings it above of what it really is, which is kind of just a standard drama cop thriller. But the actors raise it above what it is. So One Good Cop is okay. I'd recommend it as a time waster. But if you guys are fans of Michael Keaton and all the character actors I mentioned, give it a try. Check it out. It's a pretty good time waster. So that's my review of One Good Cop. Subscribe to my channel. Like my video. Share it with everybody. Leave some comments down below. We can exchange and talk about movies. And I think my next movie review is going to be Gunman with Mario Van Peebles and Christopher Lambert. And then after that, it is going to be Die Hard with a Vengeance. Come back for action-packed thrills. RMJ movie reviews. Subscribe to my channel and see you soon.